You are looking at how many days it's been since our first tropical system has formed in the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season, 1 day away from 6 months. And on top of that, a not so good number that we're looking at, it hasn't even been 2 weeks since Honduras and Nicaragua were devastated by Hurricane Eta, and now we are just a few days away from the landfall of a major hurricane. That is Hurricane Lota, expected to hit the same exact spots. Here we go. That's right, my friends. Welcome back. November 15th, 2020, 10:47 a.m. And it's safe to say we just may finally be able to safely say we could be inching towards the end of the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. It's about time. Just taking a look at this number again, knowing that our first storm was on May 16th and then obviously moved on to be one of the busiest Atlantic hurricane seasons we have ever seen, breaking and tying multiple records with 2005. And now we have a major hurricane, or expected to be a major hurricane, any hour now, heading towards Honduras and Nicaragua, which was just devastated by the major hurricane Eta, still cleaning up after that storm. And now we have Hurricane Lota with that exact area in its crosshairs. The only difference is we don't expect this storm to hook back around towards Belize and back into the Atlantic part of the Caribbean. We expect this storm to dip out into the Pacific, but not before reaching major hurricane status. And you can see that represented here by the M's. We are right now at a 90-mile-an-hour storm with Lota. You can see that right here, 978 millibars in pressure. We're moving west-northwest at 9 miles an hour. Now, one thing we can be certain of, which is not good, obviously, for Honduras and Nicaragua, is that these spaghetti plots are very tight-knit. They have a very good idea of where the storm's going to go, and then afterwards, of course, they spread out after interaction with land. But again, most, if not all, of these spaghetti plots bring this thing over Nicaragua and or Honduras, both of which are right there where it shows landfall, and then exiting into the Pacific Ocean, possibly as a tropical storm. We don't know yet, but what we do know is we do not like the path this thing is taking for the people of Honduras and Nicaragua, because obviously we are still cleaning up after Eta. Eta was one of the most devastating storms to hit this area in years. This was obviously off the coast of Nicaragua on the 3rd of November as a Category 4 storm. That is a major hurricane starting at Category 3, and now with Hurricane Lota at 90-mile-an-hour sustained winds and expected to rapidly intensify to a high-grade Category 4, you can only imagine what these poor people are going through right now. I don't even want to get too far ahead of myself here, but we're going to take a look at the GFS right now, and we're going to see Hurricane Lota right here, and we're going to see its projection of hitting Nicaragua and Honduras, and then we're going to kind of see something we don't want to, and that's the possibility of a tropical storm forming right behind the heels of Lota. We don't know if that's going to happen quite yet. We have a couple more days to really verify the information, but the fact that the Caribbean is still producing any sort of storms right now is something we need to pay attention to very closely. You can see that right there popping up just north of the north coast of South America. But at the same time, we can also see that Lota, after making landfall with Honduras and or Nicaragua, is going to dip down towards the south and then into the Pacific Ocean, where we usually see the beginning of our Pacific hurricanes. And very quickly, for those of you wondering what this is out here, this is now post-tropical cyclone Theta. If you guys remember, Theta was first labeled a subtropical storm, and now it is a post-tropical storm, and that is basically because of where it formed. If you guys remember, Theta randomly formed in the middle of the Atlantic and kind of moved in the opposite direction of where most of our storms go, thanks to Weather Underground, that starting on November 10th, we had the subtropical storm Theta, really never breaking into that hurricane status. We had tropical storm status for a few days, and now we are at a post-tropical storm status, which is basically the last thing before a remnant stage, and then we can say goodbye to Theta. So Theta is no longer a threat, and really never was a threat to the U.S. or anything close to the western Atlantic Ocean. My friends, we all assumed it would be a pretty busy season, but I don't think any of us had a clue about what this season would offer us as far as the amount of storms and how many we've had to track and wonder what was going to happen. The fact that Louisiana got 5 landfalls this year, all the storms that went into the Gulf, now back-to-back major hurricanes targeting Honduras and Nicaragua in the Caribbean. 2020 is the year that just keeps on giving. And my friends, this doesn't stop with hurricane season. We will be covering the winter storms for the U.S. The nor'easter season is on its way. For those of you that remember March of 2017, we had 4 nor'easters back to back to back to back. I wonder what 2020 winter is going to offer us before the new year. Thank you all so much for watching the video. If you have not already, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Every little bit helps, and I enjoy putting this content out for you on almost a daily basis. We got some big things coming up. on the channel here. I have a big announcement to make in the next week or so, just ironing out the details. But my friends, we have a major hurricane we are taking a look at, or almost major hurricane in Lota, about to hit Honduras and Nicaragua in the next day and a half, 2 days. We'll be tracking that non-stop and continue tracking the tropics until hurricane season is over, and then it's on to winter storms for the U.S. Any questions or comments, please leave below. Shout out to Canada. I will talk to you all very soon. Thank you all very much. Bye-bye.